Welcome back, friends. Once again, we'd like to thank you for giving us your precious time in order to listen to the show. Also, keep sending us questions so that we can keep answering them with our amazing, flawless execution. And then also remember to keep sending us your feedback because we want what you want, a better show.
Well, you have to cut this early intro out. I mean, anyway, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna use a portion of it for the after credit, as I usually do now.
Oh, okay.
I'll just fade out on the. I was talking to a girl and a nitpick. I'll just fade out on that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll cut that chunk out and then let's start it up right now. So that's a new headset mic, right? New gamer stuff.
Yeah. So this is my new rig for recording the podcast with you, Mr. Clay. I
Oh,
got me a new let's see here. Eska E1000. I'm looking at the paperwork here. Gamer headset.
sounds pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it lights up on the side stuff too. Do you see it light up?
Oh, perfect. That's exactly
Yeah.
what you need for
Uh,
recording a podcast.
yeah, exactly.
You need
Man,
little cat ears or like maybe elf ears or some sort of antelope antlers or something on top.
I just put fucking big purple dongs on the side of it,
That's
you
a
know.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Like
and I'll drink Bud Light.
nothing wrong. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I've when I do my gaming, I've got just a regular Turtle Beach, and I used to have a like these are my old Turtle Beach ones right here.
Okay.
And then my kid broke his, so I gave him my old headset, and I went and bought a new headset. I was tired of having it plugged in,
Yeah.
and what I found is when I bought the new Bluetooth one, holy fuck, man, the sound was way more incredible than plugging into my controller. It was nuts. But I think
Wow.
there might have been something wrong with the port. I bought two controllers off some guy online, and he said they were brand new. They came like mint in box, and as soon as I started playing, one of them had drift. So like one of the controllers was on the inside pushing down in a certain direction, and my character was going around in circles when I wasn't even touching the controller. And then
Uh-huh.
I plugged in the headset, and I couldn't hear out of one of the ears. I was
Hmm.
like, this motherfucker, like he probably took an old one, refurbished it, kept the box, put it in, put new tape on it, and is selling them as brand new, but like $40 less than regular price.
Right.
So it kind of
Yeah.
pissed me off because then he wasn't like replying to emails and shit, and he wasn't replying to texts. So I was stuck with I bought two from him, thinking like, oh, this is a really good deal. My controllers usually die after using for I don't know 6 months or so. I'm tough on them when I'm playing Call of Duty. Like with running, I'm
Yeah.
constantly pushing down on stuff. So that kind of pissed me off. So yeah, had to buy a brand new controller, and then I got that headset, and I was like, wow, the crystal clear sound out of these what do you call them? Headphones?
Yeah.
That's that new
Yeah.
fandangled word that young kids are
That
using.
yeah, that's that. Thanks. Now you can hear them trying to sneak you up and catch you from behind.
Yeah,
I mean, not that you might not appreciate that, but
well, I mean, not in game, maybe in real life. A little bit more adventure. I
well,
need more adventure.
it's less fun when the character in the game has a knife in his hand. He's about ready to take you out. So, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
No, I
so
could
there you
could
go.
never. But it's awesome that I tried recording with that before, but it didn't quite sound right when I listened to it for myself. So I'm gonna keep using my mic. The
Yeah.
the headset one didn't work on my end. It works. It sounds great on your end right now.
Well,
Like
that's
from
great. I was gonna say you sound perfect, man. And I still got my old mic, my old mic that I've used, which is it's still a good quality mic, but it's like 10 years old. Actually it's more like 12 years old. So
it's
yeah.
weird to think that you're still using something from that long ago. Like my iPad has got to be 15 years old. It has to be.
Push I got clothes I wear that are 30 years old. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, my iPad doesn't even play shit anymore. I can't even download anything to update any of the apps. It's pretty much useless. I can search on Google, but as soon as there's a link to a video, YouTube won't load because I can't download the latest version because it doesn't work on the software.
Right.
So yeah, I can check email and I can like Google search. So it's essentially just sitting beside my bed doing nothing.
Yeah. I
But
think there actually might be a built-in. I don't know if there's a built-in microphone. I don't think there is with this webcam. I hopefully there isn't because it might you might be conflicting. But if it sounds good, then it probably doesn't.
I don't hear any echoes or any feedback and buzzing, which is all good.
No, no, no. If I remember correctly, looking at the eBay listing, it didn't say anything about a microphone because I wouldn't have bought a headset Well, I bought this headset for a reason. I did this thing where I needed to be recorded, and they needed to have a microphone close to my mouth while I was talking.
Hmm.
So it worked out, and I'm happy with the new tech. So now I can use my main computer, and because I still haven't jacked my old laptop. I wasn't able to get started last time. So we'll see if I can get it fired up to make sure I got everything I need off of it. Because otherwise, I think that laptop's toast.
Time to put some cordless drill bits through that fucker.
Yeah. I, yeah, what do I do with? I mean, I got like three or four old computers just piled up in a closet, and it's like how,
Yeah, you can
what?
take out the hard drives and just take everything else to the dump.
Yeah,
And with the hard drives, just drill through it, right? So people can't get data. I mean, I don't know who the fuck goes through it. Does anybody actually go to the dump and take old computers and try and go through the hard drives? Like, is that a thing?
I don't know. You'd think criminals are lazier than that, but
And
uh,
plus, it says no scavenging, right? When you get to the dump, you're not allowed to scavenge. Scavenge?
well, I mean, our dump is like a big kind of protected kind of dump. It's like it's private property. They have guards and everything else that are on the around the dump. It's a big like huge thing. You can't. I mean, there are parts where you can go in there and privately like dump spaces,
Yeah.
but like stuff that's picked up from like your house, and I don't know. I don't know. I guess it'd probably be being super paranoid to be worried about it. Take it out, drill it, do whatever, and then say good enough. And
Because, yeah, I have an old computer that I haven't used in easily 16 years, just sitting there. And I can't get it to boot up. So I know it's fucked, but I've just
yeah,
been too scared to throw it away just in case. I don't know what's on there.
right.
But I mean, if I can't get it to boot up, I'm pretty sure whoever finds it isn't gonna spend the time and money to try and get it to boot up, right?
Yeah, and not only that, it's kind of like I feel like, well, if I haven't had a reason to try to get on there to pull anything off of there, then there's nothing on there that I need.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, like, oh, this computer from 2002 has something I need. Oh, I mean, no,
Oh
I
yeah.
doubt it. So,
Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about that shit.
yeah.
I guess
Well, what do you
I'll take it out to the what graveyard.
take it out and just shoot it up, man?
Yeah.
Get a 50 cal and just blow some rounds through it.
Well, in Canada, it's probably harder to find a 50 cal than it is in the States. So
I
I guess I could mail
don't,
it to you and you can shoot it up.
yeah, I'm guessing that the what do they call it? The MAID, the group MAID, the whatever it is. I don't know what the abbreviation stands for up there, but it's insisted termination.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, they probably don't supply 50 cals. Hey,
Nope.
you want to assist anybody today? No, I'm
They
good.
want it to be a little bit more peaceful than that.
Well, let's hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
they're encouraging new categories for it, but at least it's peaceful. But
I mean, it's good for people that are terminally ill that just don't want to
well,
stick around, right?
yeah,
But you
but
can't round up homeless people and be like, oh, guess what? You're gonna volunteer to end your life, and we're gonna
yeah,
help you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was an interesting story.
I mean,
Uh,
I guess they could Hunger Games it. That'd be kind of cool.
well, that's probably going to happen anyway. That's what I figure. That's what I figure America's going to be. About the time I'm retirement age, it's going to be Hunger Games for your Social Security.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you, government.
that's right. Yeah,
I mean, that would
maybe
be
maybe.
interesting to watch on pay-per-view. I mean,
Uh,
I'd pay 20, $30 to watch people hunting other people, but I might be in the minority there.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see senior citizens doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
these 10 people all have terminal cases of whatever. Let's see if they can win something for their family in the future.
Nah, they're just gonna wipe it away. Forget about it.
Yeah. Gladys has got her motorized walker with twin mounted 50 cals. While while Cal he opted for the 223.
With an automatic flamethrower out of the rear.
They're off the finish line. They're 3 feet away now.
No sneaking up
Uh,
on Cal. Yeah.
halfway to the weapons crate.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Yeah,
good times.
I'm not gonna be alive when that happens.
Hey, maybe by the time I get to that point, your boy Trudy might not be still running things. So
Hopefully that's that I think that's the plan currently for most of Canada is to ensure that he doesn't continue to run us into the ground. But hey,
Well,
whatever.
well, he's got what 2.5 more years since he, or 3 years since he just did elections last fall, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh
Unless he's
well,
really popular and he calls another election, which he has the power to do.
right.
How fucking weird is that? Hey, I'm really popular right now. Let's have an election. You can do
Eh,
that indefinitely.
I
Like
know.
what the fuck kind of rule is that?
Well, yeah. I think you guys need to change your laws a little bit, but I think that's some crap.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that you can have unlimited terms.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
PM
well.
for life.
That's right. Yep. That guy can duck scandals like a well-oiled duck underwater.
Well, when you don't answer questions, it's hard for them to, prove anything.
Well, at least your boy's not up there talking about ice cream and people braiding his leg hairs when he was a kid.
uh,
Who the heck has their leg hair braided? Anyway, we're getting up on other topics. Let's get to the topics of the day for the
all right.
know-it-alls that are
So
wanting to
th- I,
listen.
w- I want you to pick. Are we going to talk long weekend because it's a long weekend right now while we're recording and camping, or do you want to pick customer service experiences that were either really good in your favor or really oddly, what the fuck did I just see, or really poor in your favor?
Wow. I don't know.
Because whatever
Both
one
are
you
good.
pick, we're just going to do the other one next time.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say probably customer service. I think I got some fun customer service stories that might come to mind.
All right, Knowitalls.
So,
This week after our little political Hunger Games new headset, did we talk about anything else? That was
mm,
it, right?
pretty much.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So,
other than the senior games, the yes, the senior games.
all right. So, other than those topics that are all dead in the water, we're going to talk about customer service or
Yes.
lack of customer service, depending on where the story goes.
So what do we talk about customer service that we experienced as being the customer service person, or
Either way,
customer service as far as us going somewhere and having
either
horrible
way, either
customer
you were
service?
serving or being served. It doesn't really matter if it's a fun story. It's a fun story. I was working the other day, and one of the kids who works for me, he was coming in. He's a funny fucking kid. Like he's very intelligent, and he's hilarious. But he just said he went into the mall, and his friend's working at this clothing store, like a sporty goods kind of place, and he was trying on some hats, and he's like, "Oh, do you have a hat in this color and this size?" And the guy was like really busy. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, let me help you out." And as soon as the guy who was working there walked into the back to look for the hat, my employee just walked out. It was like really, really busy at the time. And he said it was funny because when the guy came out with the hat, he was probably walking around the store looking for him and he was long gone at that point. I'm like, why did you do that? He goes, because it's fucking funny. So my friend wanted to help me out and he just comes back out. I can just picture him right now walking around the store, busy as fuck. His boss trying to get him to do shit. He's like, no, no, this guy wanted a hat and he couldn't find me anywhere. He just came straight to work. No, he didn't plan it. He just thought at the spur of the moment that would be funny to him. It's kind of a dickhead move, right? But
Yeah,
also kind of funny if you see it happening. None of us got to watch the aftermath of it, but at least you could think it's funny. There's a lot of things that happen in life that you do and you think, huh, I wonder if this is going to be funny to someone, but you don't actually see the reaction.
right.
Like we had a horseshoe place in my hometown, and I remember we just got a fresh layer of snow, and it was sort of sunken in. You had to like walk down a hill to get to the bottom of the horseshoe place.
Hmm.
So I walked down there, but I walked just like in the snow. My tracks were the only ones right to the middle. Once I got to the middle of it, I just like drew a dick and balls in the snow with my feet. I walked around till all the snow was stamped out, other than the shape of the huge testicles and the huge penis. And then I went back to my footprints and I walked out backwards in the same footprints. So it just looks like I disappeared at like a dong right in the middle. So it had stopped snowing. But yeah, if you came across that at the top of the hill and you look down, you're like, wow, footprints to the middle and a big, huge penis and no footprints leaving. Like, did the guy get abducted? Did an alien look down and go, fuck, that's amazing. Like, this is awesome. Look at that. Human beings are amazing. We need that guy. Maybe I would have been the ruler of their planet. Who
There
knows?
you go. If it was a dong-shaped planet, Clay, man,
Oh man, I would be the king of the dongs. I'm cool with that.
I wonder how a dong-shaped planet would actually circulate around a sun. Would it like kind of go like a missile around it? Would it like twirl like a helicopter?
I don't know.
What would be the physics of a dong-shaped planet?
Well, I'm not a physics major by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have a friend who has a doctorate in laser engineering, so he was heavily into physics. I could ask him to draw it out and see if he could make it work with all of the angles and the gravity.
Well, now I'm curious. Is every planet in the absolute universe circular shaped? Would it naturally wear that shape? I'm
Wait.
guessing that there has to be planets that aren't globes. Of course, there's some people on our planet that don't even believe this one's a globe. It's just a flat disc,
But how
like a
how does that
frisbee
even make
flying
sense?
around. I go to the edge and I just like put on my magnet shoes and I flip over, then I walk upside down on the other side.
Every time that I hear people talking about flat Earth, I keep thinking back to that drawing of the map of the world, and it says when the Japanese, oh, flat earthers think that when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, this is the route they took, and it's like an 18-hour flight from Japan all the way over to Hawaii because they couldn't have gone the other way because we're not round, it's flat.
Right,
And what, they did that
right.
without refueling in what, like 1942 or whatever? Come on, fuck off.
Well,
1941.
I mean, they are remarkably fuel efficient with their designs. So,
But
you
still,
know,
there's no way that they flew for 18 hours to bomb something.
not only that, it would have been more than 18 hours. I mean, to
Unless
fly.
unless you're being lied to about how big the Earth is. The flat Earth is actually smaller than the circumference of the Earth is now.
Well, I'm pretty certain that the planes I'm in just fly around in circles for extra time period just for fun and to waste fuel.
Yeah.
But yeah, dong-shaped planets. There you go, folks. Dong-shaped planets.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to my physics friend and see if he wants to spend 15, 20 minutes trying to do it. I've seen him do stupider things.
I'm guessing it would just fly around kind of like a fidget spinner. That's kind of what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
just wobbling.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, just kind of wobbling. I don't know. The thing is, if the big question would be, is it a soft dong or a hard dong?
Well,
It'd have to be a hard, has
it
to be
has
a
to be a
hard
hard
dong.
dong. And can
Well,
you
what?
imagine if they had a molten core and the only volcano on the entire planet was the penis tip? And occasionally when there's an eruption, it's like red,
And
which
just
whenever you get red out of your wang, that's not a healthy thing.
hey, the other planets just keep getting pissed. Damn it, dong planet, quit flying by when you're spewing magma,
Uh,
wiping themselves off.
you ever had anything come out of your wang that wasn't urine or semen?
No,
You never had
thankfully.
you never had pus?
No, 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 no,
Oh.
never.
I
Nope.
mean, I say it like I'm surprised because clearly I've had things come out of my wang that are odd. But I
Well,
remember,
thankfully, yeah, and thankfully, I've never shot a kidney stone out yet either. So I'm not looking forward to that one day in the
uh,
future,
I mean, I did
probably.
it. It was fine. I didn't feel anything. They give you a drug as long as you know what's coming out and the doctor knows. They give you a drug to make your urethra way, way wider. Like
Wow,
when my kidney stone came out, it was like the size of a match head.
that's pretty good size.
And it just, I didn't even, I had to urinate into a sieve until I got the particles. That way they could take it in for testing. And I just sat there peeing before one of my shifts for work, and this thing just popped out into it. And I looked at it, I go, huh, I didn't feel a thing, like not a fucking thing. And it was huge. I was like, that fit out of my dick hole? Holy fuck. And
Yeah.
yeah, the doctor said that it was mainly sugars. So that's when I cut a lot of pop out of my diet and a lot of cereal out of my diet and a lot of like sweet snacks, chocolate bars, stuff like that. Which I mean, I haven't, knock on wood, had another kidney stone. So I think I might have solved that problem. But yeah, as long as you know what's coming, they can make your urethra wide enough that it's not a
Hmm.
problem.
So instead of a regular straw, it's like a it's like a McDonald's straw. You know those huge ass McDonald's straws.
McDonald's milkshake straw. You got it.
Yeah. Word to the wise, folks. If you're gonna do a line of Coke, don't use a McDonald's straw. You will die. Holy crap, he did two lines at once. What the? Oh, he's got a McDonald's straw.
Yeah, you need one
Thanks,
of those.
McDonald's.
You need one of those metal ones that they have nowadays. Those are the small little pinner ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What are your 7-Eleven ones like? Like for your Slurpees? They're not as big as
Oh,
the McDonald's ones here.
no, they're pretty big, and they got like that little like scoop thing on the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Do
I don't know. I've been
when's the last time you had a 7-Eleven Slurpee?
years
Oh, because they
easily.
went to paper straws like 3 years ago,
Oh God. So
and the stuff from the Slurpee freezes inside the straw. Like if you drink and you take your mouth away, there's still Slurpee left in there, right?
Right.
And the paper straws would freeze, so you couldn't get it out. You'd have to actually grab the straw, pinch it, and squeeze it to push all the fucking frozen shit back into the Slurpee cup. And yeah, we bought a whole bunch of plastic scoop cups from a dollar store when that happened. So I have like 400 at work. And
Yeah.
then 7-Eleven finally heard the cries from all their customers saying, fuck you, no more of this shit. And now they're back to plastic.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to go through that, so it's been before that experience happened. I don't know. Maybe they didn't even do it down here. Maybe they did. I don't know. But it's been
Well, our great leader is banning plastic straws, like illegal, making it illegal if your business uses a plastic straw.
oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, he's
You-
all about being a environmentalist and a feminist, but he will fly his private plane as much as he possibly can with as many entourage as he can and renting as many SUVs as he possibly can whenever he goes to a hotel and booking out, he's an
Oh,
environmentalist.
oh yeah.
Environmentalist.
He's a giver like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Probably a plane full of hookers, allegedly.
Oh, well, now I want to be prime minister. That sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want to be prime minister? I mean, especially if you have no qualifications for it other than your name,
Yeah, that
you
sounds
know?
perfect. What's wrong with
Yeah.
that? All right, so
Yeah.
customer service.
Okay, customer service. All right. Let's see some fun customer service stories for me. I got a couple from when I was a kid, when I worked at God, what was the name of it? Basically, it was like a large kind of drugstore, kind of drug emporium. That was the name of it, drug emporium. It was a chain that was around in the 80s that was kind of like what you'd call the equivalent of like a CVS or a Walgreens or something like that.
All right.
So, it was kind of like it was basically, the majority of the stuff was there because there was a pharmacy, but then they had a bunch of other crap too. So, toothpaste and uh
And
just
what was your
general
job? Just working
merchandise.
the till, or were you stocking
Well,
shelves,
well,
or?
two different. I had two different jobs. Um, I was a cashier for a while, and then I was a stocker. So let's see, cashier story. One of the best stories, of course, is a classic to do. Is had somebody come up and they had condoms and they didn't have a price on them. So I got to
Perfect.
go. Yeah, so I got to go price check aisle 6 Trojans. Could someone please come up and do a price check on Trojans or whatever? That was fun to embarrass the heck out of them. And then after I was moved from the cashier job, don't know why, I lasted for about 2 months as a stalker. And one time when I was stocking, I was back there stocking, so I'm against the back wall, and this person came over to ask me where the toothpaste was, and the toothpaste was literally like 6 feet away from me, like to my right. And I'm like
Yeah.
stocking stuff, and they come up to me and ask me what the toothpaste was. And all I really need to do is just point like right over there. And I said, okay, you need to go down this aisle all the way to the end, take a left, go to the next aisle, and come back, and then you'll see it just as you're getting to the end.
Yeah.
So basically, I just told him to go up, come back around, and
It's
then come back down 8 feet over, right? Instead of just
funny.
going over. And then as soon as he started walking down the aisle, I walked off and went somewhere else where I could watch him. And the dude comes down to the end of the aisle, like looks around, he's like, "Grab the toothpaste," and he's just like, "What the hell?" Like it's right there. So that was me being a dick as far as customer service
Yeah,
goes.
but what was it like? Oh, fuck these people. I hate customers. Dick. I was just like, meh. It'll be funny.
I just thought it was funny. I just thought this guy is this dude is how stupid are they? How blind are they?
Yeah.
And I mean I was 17, so
You
of
still got him
course.
the thing he wanted.
Oh yeah, I did. I just didn't make it as easy for him as it could have been. And so that was really funny. Let's see here. Some other customer service stories. I don't know. I've had remarkably bad service, but nothing like funny, just bad service in a lot of places.
I used to collect CDs. I'm sure you understand that
Oh yeah.
disease, right? So
Yeah.
I collected lots of CDs, and the only place I could get import stuff would have been HMV.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would go to HMV a lot. Like, did you guys have HMV?
No, we had our own version like of HMV. We had HMV later, I think, a little bit.
Okay.
but we had like our own like mall stores that were kind of like the equivalent of something like that.
Yeah.
So
So I was at HMV a lot, probably 3 days a week, just to see if any import shit came in. And you've known me. I've got long hair. I mean, I've lots of
right.
tattoos now, but back in the day I didn't have that. And I would always get asked the question, "Hey man, do you know where I could find this CD?" Or "Hey man, do you know when this album's coming out?" And I would always have to say, "Oh, sorry, I don't work here. I'm just looking for CDs." But it would happen literally every single time I was at HMV. So yeah, I guess long hair, rockin' music, they probably assumed that I worked there. The thing that really pissed me off is I got addressed daily when I was there where stuff was. But no matter how many times I applied for a job, I never got hired there. And that pissed me off.
Yeah,
It's like
you're like,
out of all the people, I'm a fucking customer who keeps getting asked shit that your employees get asked. Hire me. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't be hiring me. That this makes perfect sense to hire me. But yeah,
right.
oh man, working in a music store would have been great. Never got that job.
Yeah. I well, I think I've told you I worked at a music store. Did I ever tell you I worked at a music store? Have I ever talked about that?
No,
I don't
you
know.
talked about owning a
Yeah, I
music
owned
store.
I owned one for a while, but I worked for them for several years before I owned my own location.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, I didn't know if I ever told those stories. So yeah, when I was like 23, I was working at a alarm company, and our alarm business had the alarm for the local Blockbuster Music, which at the time Blockbuster Video had a music department that existed for a short period of years. And so we had the alarm for it. So I got to know the manager really well. And I just basically asked him one time, I was like, hey, I'm looking for another part-time job. Would you be able to hire me for there? So basically, I
Yeah.
didn't really, I mean, I had to apply, but it was like already a done deal. I just had to pass the drug screen, you know. The
Yeah.
funny thing is that they like did a hair drug test for Blockbuster Music. Like seriously, you guys are like that worried about you're doing a hardcore hair, not a pee drug test, a hair drug test.
That's weird.
So yeah, I passed, but not sure how, but I did. Um, and so I worked there for a couple of years. Then I worked for a used music store chain, CD warehouse that disappeared. Also, like all CD stores have pretty much.
Yep.
And yeah, and then I owned my own music store for about a year, and then that was the last of my retail music store uh, experiences. So I don't know. I thought about getting a part-time job at one point of working like a half price books, which also has CDs and stuff too. But I'm like, I don't really want to do retail. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do. I mean, I'm almost done with customer service. I truly am. Just
Yeah,
it gets to me. I mean, there's a lot of good people, right? A lot of good people. And I don't think I've got any bad customers. Like it just doesn't happen. We do the job well enough that we don't get angry people, right?
right.
And we don't get just fucking ignorant angry people just coming in to be assholes. It's not a thing that happens. I just don't want to be at the beck and call of people anymore, you know?
No, I totally understand. I don't want to be at the beck and call of people either.
And even say like when people ask me, hey, you selling your business? I go, yeah, I'm selling the business. And they go, any reason why? I was like, just I've been here a long time and I'm done. Like I tell them that my dream job right now, the way I dream is I just want to go be a Walmart greeter. I want to say hi to people and I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to stock shelves. I don't want to be responsible for shit, for people,
Right.
for things. Sure, when the buzzer goes off, I have to be responsible enough to be like, hey, what are they stealing or are they stealing? But I mean, I can handle that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that job is, easy. I'm just in my perspective of it when I walk in, that is an ideal job that I want right now in my life. I just don't want to be responsible for shit. Which I don't know if that'll ever change because I might not sell my place for years and years. So I might just have to deal with what I'm dealing with. But in my head, Walmart greeter sounds like a pretty snazzy place to be for a couple months till I figure something out.
Well, I guess it beats being on set fluffer.
Well,
So,
I mean, depending on the money, that might be worth it,
I
right?
mean, you wouldn't really have too much responsibility. Fluffer,
You just got to
piss,
keep the guy hard.
piss boy. Oh, piss boy. Fluffer. Yeah. Yeah.
The other night, I had a guy came in to order. That was a late night, like an hour before close. He comes in and he starts to order, and then this kid walks in, probably about 16, walks in the door, like looks at me. The guy that's ordering looks over at the door, And then the guy at the door, the 16-year-old kid, just turns around and walks out. Yeah, and then the guy looks at me and he continues to order. And then this other guy comes in, like 22 years old, 20, maybe no more than 27, walks in. He stands like literally right behind the guy. And he looks me in the eye and he's like, Italian pizza? Like as a question. And I looked at him, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm helping this gentleman right now. I can help you in about 3 minutes when I've done this. Are you asking if we carry Italian pizza? And he just looked at me and he's like, the guy ordering right now, just in case you were wondering what's up, that's my dad. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I'm like, the only thing I'm wondering right now, I wasn't wondering about your relationship to the guy ordering. I was wondering why you walked in, stared me down, and blurted out the words Italian pizza. Like, I don't, that's what I'm wondering. I don't fucking get it. And the guy didn't seem, special needs. He didn't seem autistic. He just blurted out those fucking words to my face. And then after, I guess his dad ordered, the guy who was behind him, the guy who blurted it out, just steps right towards the till as if he wanted to order. And I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
did you want to add? Because his dad already paid. I was like, did you want to add something to the order? And he looked at me like I was a moron. And he's like, no, my dad just ordered. I was like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Go away. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then the kid just walks out with the dad. And I just like stood there shaking my head, like, what the fuck just happened? I don't I don't understand. Like, can you even register why someone would do that other than being special needs, but he wasn't special needs?
Well, he might have been. You don't know. I mean, I mean, he could have just been a little off. He could have been
Yeah.
on shrooms. Who
Well, I guess
knows?
so. Yeah, I guess he could have been high or something. It's just to me, it was just really fucking weird. And I had to tell one of the guys I was working with, and I was like, "So I need you to tell me, is this funny, or is this just weird?" And he's like, "Well, it's weird, but it's funny the way you tell it because I wouldn't have thought much about it until you brought up like, what the fuck was this guy thinking? Why the fuck would
Right,
he? Why the fuck would he do that? Why the fuck would you think?" You were concerned if this guy was related to the guy in front of him. Like, okay, so it's in how you tell the story, which makes it funny. But
right.
I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, then I made the food and then he sent the 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid to come in to grab it. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this guy gonna say now? He's like, oh hey man, I'm here to pick up the pizza that my dad ordered. It's like, all right, here you go. He's like, you have a good night. I was like, you have a good night too. So it's just normal as fuck. I don't get it.
I don't know. Now I just want to walk into a random place, walk up behind somebody, and go, Italian pizza?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man? It just seemed odd. So
Yeah,
that's just one of the odd things that I've seen happen to me customer service wise. I don't tend to get bad customer service, I think, because whenever I go out to a restaurant and stuff, I understand being in the industry why my food's taking long. I look around and like, okay, there's a lot of tables. There's two servers, 18 tables. They got 9 tables each. My food's going to be a while. I know that.
yeah, yeah.
The server's not going to be stopping by here very often. And I'm
Right.
okay with that. I remember when I was in Hawaii with family and friends, and my girlfriend's sister was there with her husband. And we sat down to eat, and I just met this guy, and he just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it was. He seemed like an asshole. And
Yeah,
he sat down and he starts berating the server, being like, I'm diabetic. I can't have anything with sugar. I need to know the sugar content of the barbecue sauce. I need to know the sugar content in the baked beans. I need to know the sugar content in the salad dressing for the coleslaw. I'll get a diet Coke. And she brought the Diet Coke. And as she was dropping off the rest of the drinks, he finished, like, he slurped the whole fucking thing down, right? Through the straw. Like, right. And she's about to walk away and he's tapping on it with his like spoon. He's like, excuse me, hello, refill. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, don't be such an asshole. She's clearly
yeah.
busy. And she was here for less than 3 seconds. So then he got like 7 refills of it. He ate all the barbecue sauce, ate all the shit. And then he ordered the biggest piece of chocolate cake he could find, like the biggest one on the menu. And I was like, aren't you diabetic? He goes, yeah, but if I shoot up right after dinner with my insulin, I'm fine. And I was like, what? He goes, if I shoot up, I'm fine. So he was a cunt to the server completely about everything. And then it ended up not even changing anything on the menu to support his dietary needs. Then he got the biggest piece of chocolate cake he could. And then he just took out his needle and shoved it into his stomach at the dinner table and shot up there after we were all done eating. I'm like, I'm fucking done with this dude.
What a dig. That's a class A douche canoe right there. So yeah, I guess douche canoes are gonna douche canoe. So
Yeah. No, I never liked the guy. I met him a couple more times after that. And I was just a piece of shit. He truly was just a fucking asshole.
Yeah, yeah, I think that what many people have said is that the best way to get a judge of a character is to have somebody in an environment where they have, I don't know if it would be control, but a certain amount of expected interaction with somebody that has no power over them. Like in this case, like somebody that's a server,
Yeah.
and do they treat them like a person or do they treat them like a flunky, or uh and so obviously you got a good sense of his character by the way he acted, and he acted like a piece of crap.
You did.
So yeah. So
It's weird because
yeah.
I've been a server before and I was never ever treated like a piece of shit. I don't know. I guess I lucked out never having I mean I had a dine and dash once. Well, twice. One time it happened and they got away with it. The next time I actually followed the guy across the parking lot and into the grocery store. Whereas when he was walking into the grocery store, I just said to the security guard that was there, I was like, that guy just stole from the restaurant I worked at. We need to detain him because the police are on the way. So the security guard went and grabbed him, even though it wasn't even stealing from the grocery store.
Wow.
But yeah, he detained him and then the cops showed up and they brought him to the restaurant. I was like, all right, someone's going to pay out of my pocket for a dine and dash. Fuck it.
Right. Right.
I you get one for free. That was the rule. So I had one that was for free, and then yeah. Oh,
You're like, the hell with that. I'm chasing this guy down. Nowadays, the security guard just go over with the trash bag and say, "Is there anything you'd like to take from the store with you, sir? I'm
uh,
not going to stop you. I'll assist you on the way out."
everything's
Y'all,
free now.
y'all like pull the car around.
Eh,
You know, Christmas shopping in America is just getting a rented U-Haul and going out to California and just picking a few things up and loading them up, and you're good to go.
Fucked up, right? I was
It's
watching that. I was like, how's this even happening?
it's insane. Uh, it's not happening where I live at. Our state is still fairly conservative, but our main city part of where I live at is I think probably about 10 years from now we're going to be probably at that point if we keep having the kind of leadership that we have running things.
Yeah,
So yeah,
back to politics.
yeah. Well, let's get out of that. Well, in some ways though that is customer service because that person is telling everybody what they want to hear, and he's getting his tips. In this case, it's votes.
Yeah, the
So
thing is they're not doing the job the way the company, sorry, the government should be run like a business,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely should be,
There's
yes.
checks and balances. If your business doesn't make money, people don't get paid.
Right.
So if the government isn't turning a profit, why are the politicians getting paid?
Well, but technically, the job of government is never to make a profit. It really isn't. I
No,
mean,
but it
it
should be.
should be. It should be. If they're running a business, it should be to make a profit. But I mean, I mean, like entitlements, it's all just going out. They're taking from us who have money and giving it to those who don't. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
So,
not even those who don't, not even those in our country.
well, there's that too.
Right? It just boggles the
Yeah.
mind, doesn't it?
It,
You
it
know?
it it truly does. But let us hope that we
Yeah.
both have well-paying Walmart greeter positions in our future.
Oh, I
And
don't even need well paying. I just don't want to deal with being in charge of everything all the time, being responsible for everything all the time. I just I need a fucking break, man. I just need a fucking break, and a 2 week vacation is not going to be it. And I don't
well,
want my business to shut down, so that's not the break I want either, right?
no, 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 no. Yeah, you don't want that. But
I want to go out
no,
on my terms, and I want to chill at a job. Like how great would it be in the town I live in once I sell my business if people who recognize me as I'm a Walmart greeter, they're like, "Did you not own a successful restaurant like last week?" Like, yeah, but technically I did. Spiritually, this job is better for me right now.
well, I don't know. I think the best thing would be just to have a daily podcast like Joe Rogan, and you just interview people and you just talk all day, and that's your whole job.
Oh,
But you
fuck,
still
it'd be
have
amazing.
right? I mean,
Oh, even
oh
for less than minimum wage, I'm cool with that.
yeah. I mean,
If I can make $5 an hour doing this, I would do it 10 hours a day,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's enough to pay my bills.
as long as you make enough to pay your bills,
Yeah.
then doing something that makes you happy, I mean, I
But
don't know.
it's hard to make money with, 3 listeners a month. It's a tough one.
Well, it's a big ask to just get those three to pay. So,
I
you
wonder if,
know,
I wonder if people would pay $1 a month. Do you think they'd even pay $1?
I don't know. I was going to tell you, but you need to get the show up on Twitter now.
Or get a Patreon? But you have to offer people something. We have nothing to offer. Like there'd have to be bonus episodes that you can't get just by going to the app and downloading, right? You
Right.
you get a link sent to you from our private server that you could listen to the episode.
Well, what we need to get, we need to have like 1,000 listeners, and then we just have a Patreon, and then like twice a month, just have a live show for Patreon listeners only. They can just ask us questions to the answers for everything, and we give them answers.
Oh man,
Wouldn't that'd be awesome?
okay. Now you need to get on that.
Yeah.
Although if I was a Walmart greeter, I'd probably have a lot more free time on my hands. I could make that happen.
Yeah. There
So
you
that's the
go.
plan. Sell the business, be a Walmart greeter, have more time to snowball this thing into a profitable enterprise.
That's correct.
And then we could be giving great customer service to the people that pay our bills.
That's correct. We could.
Hmm.
You know, I thought about offering it. I'm like, I don't know who would pay for it, but I'm like, I'm gonna start a business that's going to be called Walk with an MBA. So we just walk in the mornings, I keep my exercise in there. We do a walk.
Yeah,
You pay me for an hour. Talk about any topic you want to talk about for that hour. It could be business, it can be therapy, it can be whatever. Just take a walk.
I consider this my therapy
Yeah, well, it's good therapy. I mean,
because
talk with
people always
talk
ask,
with
like, do you go to therapy? I was like, no, I talk on a podcast. I talk about everything on it, like everything I'm feeling, everything I'm going through, everything I see, everything I do. It's all on there. I mean, I'm not talking specific, explicit details of shit that I do. I mean,
right.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I get into the details, but this is my therapy. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good way to talk about things in life, and hopefully talk about topics that aren't too intense. Stay away from the polarizing topics. Everybody, there's besides that, there's enough people talking about those subjects. They don't need a couple of us guys talking about it. There's
No,
people there's people way more informed on those topics that have opinions they want to express, and I'll let
they
them.
they truly have the answers for more than
Oh
what we
yeah,
have in those topics. But let that be a secret between you and me.
yes, yes,
As
yes.
far as our listeners go, we know everything.
I, I, I want to do a show that's kind of like coast to coast AM. I want to do a show where we're talking to people, like just people calling up and talking about like Sasquatch and Loch Ness
Fuck
monsters and
yeah,
UFOs and just
dude up.
crazy stuff and just stories, man,
Well, it's not that hard to get guests. There's people that are on other podcasts that just want to talk.
Oh
You
yeah.
join a podcast network and just send out messages to people saying, "Hey, I have a show this day, this week, this time. Who wants to come talk about NASCAR racing?" Right?
Right.
And then I'll just sit here dumbfounded because I didn't even know that I knew the word NASCAR racing until 8 seconds ago when I said it because I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, how's it go? I turn left. I
Yeah,
turn left. I
yeah, a
turn
couple
left.
times, right? And
I
then
accelerate. I turn left.
see, there you go. We've already got our first guest, Charlie Ray,
Yes.
the NASCAR expert.
I, yeah, I don't think I'd be a good play-by-play person for the NASCAR races. And he's going around in a circle. Hey, it's still a circle. Oh, accident in lane two. Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be fun. It's amazing when you look at we're way off the topic of customer service, but I appreciate somebody who like Larry King did like thousands of interviews. I mean, how long do you think Joe Rogan's going to keep doing this? Probably till he's like, I don't know. Maybe at some point he'll get tired of it. I mean, but
I don't know. He loves it and he's learning,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
right.
sitting there with people, you're talking and you're learning something. That there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure there's challenges, of course, with any job, but I mean, like you said, I mean, he's got a staff that does all the technical stuff. All
Yeah.
he's really got to do is just kind of know a little bit about the subject. I mean, and again, before anybody gets pissed off, that's a Joe Rogan fan. I know there's more to it. I mean, you got to be a little bit prepared. You got to understand the topic and this and that. But really, all you're doing, like you said, you're just having conversations with people, and they're talking about some subject that they're an expert in, and you're not. And you're like, okay, let me learn about
Well, see that
Archaeology. Let me learn about, this. Let me learn about that.
well, that's why Joe
Yeah,
Rogan says, I don't want to be on a TV set. I don't want to be on a movie set. I don't there's not enough money in the world to pay me to go do that job again when I have this job right here. Right?
right.
So he's doing the thing he loves the most,
Yeah,
other
why
than
would you?
his MMA commentary, right?
Well, and he still does occasional stand up too. I mean, he came
Yeah.
to Kansas City on a weekend here last year. I didn't
But
go, but yeah,
he's in the cushy place where he can do
whatever
all
he
the things
wants.
he wants to do, and he does them,
Yeah,
and he does them
yeah.
well.
And he's got a hot wife and a good family life. I mean, he's got everything he needs. Have you seen his gym? Oh my God. I mean, it's it's like a professional level gym. I mean, it's probably $1 million worth of equipment in there, I
Good
mean, he
for
can,
him. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I know, I'd love that. My dream, and I've talked to you about that before. My dream is to have a compound in some amazing locale with hopefully view of the mountains and the ocean. That would be ideal, both.
Yeah.
And have everything I need. Have my living space, have a gym, have a sauna, have the whole full 9 yards. Just teach classes and do podcasts. That'd be my ideal life, is to do.
Well, don't forget your underage cabana boy named Jose. You need him.
I'd have a squad of them, four of them. It takes that many to oil me down at one time.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you add all their ages together, they're legal.
Yeah, there you go.
You
Depends
just
on
have
what
to,
country you're in.
you just got to move to Epstein Island and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Ah, yes. Yes, the Epstein Island.
Well,
All the
I think we're totally glossed over all the
cus
customer service
yes.
with a bunch of other
Oh,
shit.
well, let me think of some customer store service story.
We could do a would you rather. I'll ask you a couple questions, then we could end the show.
Sure.
'Cause
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Today's show was more off the cuff than
we,
usual.
we used to call them shoot the shit episodes.
Yes, this is a shoot the shit episode.
Shoot the shit. That was what we would title them. So this one started off with something we had in our head that it turned into something completely different. But I've got
Yes.
two would you rathers that I'm going to ask
Okay.
you.
Okay.
All right. So would you rather have your favorite meal always cause stomach pains and massive diarrhea with anal bleeding? So your favorite thing to eat causes you to have stomach pains, diarrhea, and anal bleeding? Or would you rather have no bowel movement control and crap your pants loudly and in abundance in public whenever you see someone pushing a shopping cart?
Wow. I would rather not do either of those.
Well, that's why it's called Would
I
You Rather.
I would say number one. Well, I don't know. You know what? I could probably avoid the second one in
You
a lot of
could,
ways. Yeah.
especially with online food ordering,
Yeah,
online grocery
yeah,
shopping.
yeah. I would have to arrange things. I would probably go with, I guess, then number two, so to speak. I
Yeah,
guess. I mean,
you would
because
go
here's the
with
thing.
you would choose the second one, the shopping cart, or you choose eating your favorite food but bleeding out of the butthole after you eat it.
Well, here's the thing. I could choose not to eat my favorite food,
You
so
could,
I, so that,
100%.
yeah, so I'd choose number one, because then my favorite food wouldn't be my favorite food anymore. Because I tell you what, after a couple episodes of that, it would not be a favorite food.
You would still do it a couple more times. You'd have to.
Well, maybe.
You'd be like, this is it. This is the last chance. I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
able to eat this again. I mean, I can. I just don't want to do what it does to my body.
Well, the anal bleeding part really put it over the top. The other parts weren't too bad. You know, I've had that with just non-favorite foods. So, uh,
Every time I go to Taco Bell, that's exactly what's happened to me, but I can't stop going to Taco Bell.
yeah, Taco Bell's a guilty pleasure right there. I tell you what, though, these days, I just prefer. I really just prefer to cook for myself. I went out today and I went to this buffet and with me and a friend, and dude, with a tip, it was over $50. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It was
I'm
ridiculous.
I'm going to Vegas in October for a U2 concert. And is it wrong that I can't wait to go to like Caesar's Palace to the buffet, even though it's like $69 Canadian?
Holy crap,
Sorry,
really?
69 US. Sorry, 69 US. But I
Wow.
mean, you get as much prime rib as you want, as much ribs as you want, as much steak as you want. Yeah, it's as much lobster, crab. And oh, the dessert station is, oh man, it's like God came down herself and just said, anything your heart desires to get in your stomach, done.
Okay, so the day that you're going to have this buffet, then what's the plan? Are you going to go earlier in the day so you can hopefully have some of this digested before you go to bed that
Oh,
night? Because your day is going to be shot. Whatever
yeah.
you go to do this, you're not going to be like, oh, I just had all these meals for an hour. I'm going to go for a jog, you know?
I'm gonna play it by ear. All I know is that it's not gonna be on the same day that I go to the concert.
That's a good plan.
So that's my only plan.
You know what my main plan is whenever I go to a concert fest, like a festival or something like that?
What's that?
Don't eat anything that's going to make me have to take crap.
I always feel like that when I go on a road trip, but then I go on a road trip and eat road trip food, and then I have to crap.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Road trip and a crap is a lot different. Oh, the thing is though, it's like bathrooms at a concert venue. Things have gotten better. They used to be really way grosser back in the day, but
Yeah.
still, you don't want to have to go in the middle of your band either. Especially if you paid a ton for a ticket, which I'm sure that you did. I was actually going to ask you about that earlier. I'm like, they put more tickets on sale. I was going to ask you if you'd managed to score a
I
ticket.
was unable to score in two fan club pre-sales. Two.
Wow.
I was unable to score regular Ticketmaster pricing, and I don't want to pay the platinum pricing. Tickets went from $500 US a ticket to 1451 a ticket.
Wow.
Ticketmaster prices. Ticketmaster just said, "Oh, this is a sold out event. These are all platinum seats now." I fucking hate Ticketmaster. That company needs to fucking die.
Yes.
They need to fucking die. And so now they're partnered up. They own a company called Vibey. So Ticketmaster, which is owned by Live Nation, which owns StubHub, which owns Vibey. Vibey is you can purchase your ticket and a hotel package. But we're not talking like a $150 room. We're talking an $860 room at the Venetian. So 2 nights at the Venetian and two concert tickets was $2,700 Canadian.
Wow. Did they give you that Canadian lube to go with that?
Nope, it's going in dry. It's they said courtesy of your prime minister, no lube available.
Wow.
You're already used to getting fucked in the ass. We're just gonna do it again. And the thing is, you don't know your concert ticket seats. You know your four sections they can choose from, but you don't know your seats yet. And then there was an email that went out to some people, not everyone. I didn't get it. It said there's an overhang in the section that you've chosen. You won't be able to see the. Do you know the venue that it's in?
No, it's some new venue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the Sphere, and it's like a big globe, and the whole ceiling and the walls on the inside are all LED screens that are better than your HD TV at home. The entire building is a fucking TV, and all the seats have vibrations in them and sound haptics in it. It's and now the seats in this section, you can only see the band and the rectangle behind the band. You can't even see the walls and the ceiling where the TV is. So they sent that out saying, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, a bunch of you have tickets here. So we're gonna let you join the fan club pre-sale next week, and you can exchange your tickets." And then I never got the email, so I was frantically wondering, did they just miss me? And do I have a shitty seat? So I sent
Uh-huh.
them 3 emails, and the only reply I got was, "We're busy right now. Your email is important to us. We'll be back in touch once we get here." And then the
Well,
the pre-sale for the fan club came and gone. Yeah, and the people that needed to switch their tickets, they didn't even get tickets in that pre-sale for the fan club, so they have to go with their shitty fucking seats that they bought that they can't see the dome, they can only see the band and the stage.
and you don't know if that's going to be you or not.
Not a clue.
Wow. Talk about a failing customer service.
It is, yeah, fucking. There you go. It all comes
Yeah.
together.
Let's
So
tie that. Let's wrap that up with a bow and tie it together. Yes, that
yeah,
that's that right there is an example of monopolistic power and the lack of customer service around it because like they supposedly give a shit, but do they really?
no,
One of the worst things I think that's ever happened is as technology improved and everything else is the advent of what they call dynamic pricing. And you know what?
yep, yep,
Yes, dynamic pricing. Because basically, if you're a fan but you're not rich, good luck ever having good seats to anything ever.
that's right.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope that you're just a fan of one or two bands so you can, save up for most people. I mean, a lot of people, a month's salary so that you can actually have a good seat. I mean, I'm all the way in the back of the arena. I paid over $200 for an Aerosmith ticket, and I'm in the back of the arena. The back of the arena. The cheapest seat all the way in the top back of the arena was still over $100. I'm
That's
like,
fucked up.
Yeah, and that's before service charge. The service charge is almost $50 on top of it.
Oh,
The
it's so
the
fucking
ser-
ridiculous.
the service charge, the
Yeah.
more service charge, the oh, we can't even give you a hard copy of a ticket anymore. We can't give you, oh, it's on your phone. That'll be $12. Wow,
Right.
I got serviced.
Yeah.
You worked so hard. It pays for our infrastructure. Yes, it
Yeah.
pays for
I'm
the yacht.
so fucking done with Ticketmaster. I don't understand how it got to this point. I mean, the bands are making bank. They don't make money from music anymore, so they have to make money from dynamic seating, right? They
Yeah.
have to.
Well, I don't know that the band, well, I guess if they do like those VIP packages and stuff, they get money back in from that. But, at least the way it used to be, if you were a band, you're like, okay, well, I want $1 million to play this show. And they got that $1 million. And
Yeah.
then they got like, sales at the venue for like merchandise or
Yeah.
special packages and stuff like that. But everything else, it was all up to the promoter how they wanted to sell it. And that was the promoter's money, not the band's, because, they already got their guaranteed money, unless they do something kind of like some kind of like guaranteed money X, and then like a share, like a profit sharing share of the venue, which some big bands could probably get away with.
Absolutely
But
they can.
but man, you two set a definite or the promoter set a definite precedent in hosing people, I think, with
I miss
this.
the days of being a fan club member, and I would get a thing in the mail that says, "Hey, which two tickets do you want for two different shows? So which four tickets do you want?" And you would mail in the money away, and then you would get those four tickets. You would just get them.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, sweet. So now I don't have to line up at Ticketmaster and worry about that bullshit. And I got my tickets, and that was perfectly fine until like 2000 and I don't know, 9.
yeah.
And then it was all online, and yeah, we got fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually there for a while in the 90s. I don't think I've ever told you this part either. There in the 90s, I had a part-time job where I worked for a ticket scalper. So I would call in and I would buy tickets, and then I'd get them and I'd give them to him, and he'd pay me for the cost, plus he'd pay me like a premium over them for the
Yeah.
time and effort. So I could make sometimes 20-30 bucks a ticket, and I'd usually, like, whenever something went on sale, I might get a pair or four tickets or whatever. And I did that a lot in the 90s and with him, and I had like four different memberships to the Pearl Jam fan club.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like what you said. When something would go on sale, you'd have like a certain block, and you'd tell the fan club, if it's in your area, whatever, I want two tickets or whatever you were allowed to get per fan club membership.
Yeah.
you know but I also bought, like Garth Brooks tickets. So it was whatever was big and popular, right? And the thing is he had phone numbers, like backdoor phone numbers, to get into the phone banks when you called in. So you wouldn't just call the main number. You'd be calling like these direct lines, like all those rollover lines that are behind
Yeah.
the scenes that you don't know the phone number of. Well, he had those numbers. And so we just call those directly. So you'd have dialers and do the stuff. And you do that.
That's
I
fucking
did
crazy.
Yeah, I did that for about 4 or 5 years, just like on Saturday mornings, or whenever tickets used to go on sale was Saturday mornings, not Friday mornings, Saturday mornings. And I made a few $100s a month doing that, and it was fun. I mean, outside of the whole scalping factor, kind of an icky
Well, I
thing,
mean, now
but
now Ticketmaster's its own scalper. They
exactly,
they have
exactly.
20,000 seats for a venue. So they sell out 12,000 of them. They keep the best 8,000
Hmm.
unreleased, and the tickets are labeled as sold out, an hour later. And
Right.
then they put the other 8,000 prime tickets, primo tickets out as, what do you call them?
Uh,
Dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing, yeah.
Oh, look at this. We found 8,000 more tickets that nobody bought during the regular sale. Unfortunately, since it's sold out, now the tickets are 300% higher. We
Right.
apologize. Here you go. And they sell out. So Ticketmaster holds back on tickets and then scalps their own fucking tickets on their own fucking website.
And then, they've made it so, because there's no hard tickets, you can't go out front and be what do they call it, a tout, or whatever, touting tickets, touting, hey, I got a pair of tickets for sale, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah. So, like, they've basically eliminated the scalper market for anybody else but themselves.
true.
Yeah. So, and if you want to exchange things, it has to be done electronically, because there's no actual ticket. Your ticket, or the fun thing now is, your ticket's completely non-exchangeable, non-refundable. You buy it, you're on the hook for it.
My my
Period.
my package for through the Venetian is non-refundable.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
like if you got hurt and you couldn't go, you're just out.
I'm out $3,000.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, those people that run that company need to be ran out of town on a rail with tar and feathers.
yeah, but now they also own the venues.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they own
So
everything.
I don't get how that is not a monopoly. You own the
Oh,
venues, you own the ticket company that tickets the venues. You now are managing the bands that are under Live Nation, right? Because now, like you two used to be under their own management, and then that guy quit. The guy that grouped them together and gave them a chance when they were kids.
oh
He,
yeah.
he retired, and they sold their
Catalog. Yeah. Didn't
well,
they sell their catalog?
they own their catalog.
Oh, okay.
They haven't sold that yet. Yeah,
Yet. It's
but yeah,
coming.
they sold their management company to Live Nation, which is owned by Ticketmaster, or the other way around.
Which is why you have $3,000 ticket packages.
Absolutely, because they also own the company for the hotels.
Yeah, I feel like I made out like a bandit getting to see that I didn't get to see the original, but I got to see the Joshua Tree thing that they did a few years ago with the
Yeah.
stadium thing, and that's the only time I've ever seen you two, and I paid like 150 for that ticket, and I thought, wow, that's high enough, but not
Where
bad.
did you see them from the floor or from the seats?
Seats from the seats.
I saw the that show twice. Once in Amsterdam, and I was in seats in like the 100 level, and then I saw the opening of the tour in Vancouver and on the floor, and it was awesome both ways. And yeah, it was. I don't know how I was able. I don't remember how I was able to get tickets for those. I don't remember.
Uh,
I was a fan club member. Anyway, whatever. Like I went and it was awesome, but
yeah,
you should really go see them again because that was just one album anniversary tour. You don't get to see like
yeah,
the
yeah.
full show.
I would like to do that, but I'm not going to break the bank for it, and it probably won't. I mean, they've only played Kansas City like I don't know, maybe 3 times in the last 20 years or something. I don't know, maybe just twice. They did a video shoot here. That was pretty cool back in the
That,
90s.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
The place where they're playing right in Vegas for October, there's four sections, so like P1, P2, P3, P4, and there's a general admission section. I want you to tell me what you think general admission tickets cost. When I saw them in 2005, general admission tickets were like $75 a ticket. $75
yeah,
Canadian.
yeah.
What do you think the general admission is going for at this venue?
I'm gonna
Let's go with US
say
pricing.
350 or to 500.
Nah, 267.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
tickets I got were 501, and then through the package they upped that to way too fucking much.
yeah.
I mean, because if I had a choice, I wouldn't stay at an $800 US a night hotel.
Oh, come on, man. I mean,
I've
800.
stayed I've stayed at the Venetian in that same room. Like that, and that was I've told this story before, but my wife and I went there with some friends, and we were gonna go watch Cirque du Soleil, and we're trying to check in, and we're checking in at like 6 o'clock, and the show for Cirque du Soleil is at Caesar's Palace at 7. So we're like, we have 45 minutes essentially to drop our shit off,
Wow.
get ready, and then head down to Caesar's Palace, which is if you're gonna walk, it's a pretty decent walk from the Venetian. And
So
we're
pretty
trying to
difficult. Yeah.
we're trying to check in, we're trying to check in, and they kept saying our room wasn't ready. And I was like, hey man, like I don't know what I need to do right now, but I need a room. I don't care which one it is, because we have a thing to go at 7 o'clock. Like we have to be there. And it's pretty much down to the middle of the strip, and we're up in the farther part of the strip. And they said, okay, hold on. And they got the manager. Manager came out and said, we're gonna move you up to this tower in this room. It's an upgrade, and we do apologize for any inconvenience. You can take that elevator. And we took it up, and we went in, and there was like a mini bar, but not like a mini bar. There was like stools and like a bar,
Yeah.
fax machine, like two couches, a huge bay window, a massive, massive fucking bed, and then a bathroom that had like a toilet, double sinks. It had a shower that was about the size of the length of the entire fucking bathroom. You could fit probably 15 to 20 people in that shower. Just a
Probably
big.
has.
It was it was amazing. Big glass, yeah, big glass enclosed shower. Lots of like marble seating in the shower to sit down on like a marble chair to like shave your legs or shower. Oh, it's amazing. And I was like, holy fuck. And I looked it up and the room was like $1,200 Canadian a night. I was like,
Wow.
holy fucking shit, this is amazing. And yeah, so I'm looking at that right now and it's at 865 a night US. So I think it's when I'm looking at the pictures, like I'm pretty sure this is the same type of room I stayed in before. So it's nice. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never stayed in a room that expensive. I can't imagine. I mean, I've done road trips and I'm staying in like $60 flop house hotels. So, I swear to God, I thought I was going to get murdered in a couple of them. That's a story. But yeah,
You were looking for the glory holes next to the toilet when you're in the bathroom. You're like, is there? Can I reach over to the next room? I mean,
that's how I pay for the room.
oh,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So did
Uh,
you were you on the did you put your wang through the hole or did you play with the wang that came through your hole?
you got to play with the wang.
That's the only way you're gonna get paid.
Well, that's how you're going to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
I
this
think where was that? Texas?
in Texas. Yeah.
I think I need to
No,
road trip to Texas.
man. Yeah. Yeah, I already got my tickets for that festival in Texas for next year because they put it on sale already, 10 months in advance because that's awesome. Everybody, that's the other thing. It's like A, everything's more expensive, and B, they put things on sale so far into the future so they get your money. And that's annoying too.
And it just sits in a bank account or in an investment and they're just making percentages upon percentages.
Exactly, exactly. They're just like, oh, we're gonna take this money. Of course, the thing is with festivals, they need the money kind of in advance so they can pay the bands and book the band. So I kind of understand,
Yeah, but do the
but
bands get paid 10 months in advance or do the bands get paid if they show up?
I don't know. When I was trying to book bands, it was kind of like usually you paid like when you booked them, you paid like 50% up front, and then you paid them the rest like when they played.
What if they were sick? What if somebody couldn't make it? What if they just decided, oh, sorry, double booked. I don't want to go to Kansas City to your shitty fucking concert venue this week.
I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, I've heard from other people because I've never did that much booking, but I've talked to people and they've had times where the band has done that and then they didn't get any of the money back. They were just out the money or
I'm
they
sure they
have,
have insurance for that though, right? They have to.
well, depends on how seat of the pants the promoter is. Some of a lot of these promoters, especially with metal, they don't have a lot of money. I mean, the bigger promoters do, yes, but like smaller promoters, no, they don't. I mean, but if you're rolling in the money where you're the booker, like it would be like Live Nation doing like Aerosmith, then yeah, you're you know
When was that
covered.
Aerosmith show?
It hasn't happened yet. It's in November.
Oh, oh, this is their final tour.
This is their retirement tour. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've seen them twice. How about you?
I've seen them. One, two, three, 4 or 5 times. This will be my fourth or fifth time. So the last time I saw him before this was 2007, and I saw him in Chicago with Joan Jett opening that
Oh,
year.
nice. I just saw Joan Jett this summer opening for Motley Crue and
Yeah,
Def Leppard.
yeah. I love Joan Jett. She's starting to show her age a little bit now, but I mean, God, she's like
Oh,
sixty
do you
something.
do you think she's starting to show her age
Yeah, a
at
little
60?
bit. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I still love Joan. She's still a hell of a performer. But so I saw that, and I saw him.
You said
Uh,
2007?
yeah, 2007.
I wonder if it was the same tour I saw. I saw them in 2006 in February. Probably would have been the same tour then.
It might have been.
Mine,
Well,
Lenny Kravitz was the opener for mine in Seattle.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
Tacoma.
yeah. Mine would have been. Was it 2006 or was it 2007?
I'm looking at my concert tickets right now.
It would have been like August, September of 2006 or seven. No, it was like October because I it was on a 2 week road trip where I went from Kansas City to Minneapolis where I saw a concert there, and then I went to Chicago, and then I went to Atlanta, and then I went to North Carolina and saw my grandma about a month before she passed away, uh, and then back to Atlanta, and then home. So maybe it was 2005. Like these, no, that's not right. Anyway, it was a good show. Here it is. September 24th, 2007 at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. That's when I saw him.
Oh,
So
so that's the Root of All Evil tour.
I guess I don't remember.
I'm looking at their thing right now. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see how this tour is. It's just, I didn't see the 2012 tour. They played the Sprint Center here in Kansas City. I didn't go, and then I've kind of thought that I'll never get a chance to see them again. So now they're doing this, peace out. Retiring tour. So I'm like, okay,
Sure they are.
I'll go.
Just
Yeah,
like
should.
Kiss.
Yeah, well, I think Kiss is done. I do. I mean, they've
Well, they're
milked.
they're on they're on tour right now.
Yeah, but
Or they
I think when they get done with this tour, it'll be it. I mean, these dudes are all in their 70s, you know. I mean, it's not. I mean, you gotta think. Well, I mean, you'd think it's like they have enough money,
Oh
you
fuck
know.
yeah. There's no way
But
they shouldn't have any money. But I mean, we don't know their spending habits,
well,
right?
Steven did a lot of it up his nose,
Yeah.
so there is that factor. Um, but
I mean,
anyway,
I'm glad I got to see them twice. I saw them at the like White River Amphitheater. Really nice outdoor venue. It's cool. And I saw them at the Tacoma Dome. So
yeah,
that
I
makes me
think
happy.
I think unless you're a huge Aerosmith fan, a couple times is enough. It's not like you're going to be getting like they're going to play the same songs you probably heard before,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know that. But Aerosmith used to be one of my favorite bands in the 80s when I
Yeah.
first got into them. Like my favorite three bands right now are, AC/DC with Bon Scott, Motorhead, and ZZ Top. And pretty much the only one that still even exists, and even then, one of the people have died, is ZZ Top. All my favorite band, it's like all my favorite bands are all gone or dead. I mean, AC/DC with Brian, I still love it, but it's not Bon. But there in the 80s for a while, my three favorite bands were ZZ Top, the Beastie Boys, and Aerosmith. Those were my three favorite bands in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
So,
Well, at
so
least
Aeros,
you got to see all of them, right?
Oh yeah, I got to see
So
the first Beastie Boys tour when they were still before they got all Buddhist and oh we renounce the chasing women and drinking beer phase of our lives. Okay, whatever. I got to see the Run DMC Tougher Than Leather tour in 2006, and it was I had like 12th row. It was Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, Houdini, and LL Cool J. That was the lineup.
that
That's
sounds
a
pretty awesome.
that's a pretty cool lineup. Yeah, and I got to see the Beastie Boys doing the full on drinking and beer and women in cages on stage. That was the Beastie Boys I enjoyed. And then they went all booze. I mean, they're still good, but I mean, So anyway, customer service. Ticketmaster doesn't have any, and we'll say that's it on customer service.
Yeah. So I
So
guess it's time to say goodnight. Know-it-alls. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're entertained. And if you weren't, please message me and tell me what I did wrong so I can fix it. And
yes,
tell Charlie Ray what he did wrong so he can fix it. I'm gonna say peace out and we'll talk next week.
and I'll say peace out. If you got a topic you want us to cover, drop us a line.
Drop us a line. So you got like a gamer headset.
Yeah, yeah, it's a gamer headset. It's what it is. So I bought that. I mean, I still got my other microphone and stuff,
Yeah,
but I bought this webcam that I'm using here, and this new headset. So let's see here. Am I looking straight on? Because if I look up,
yeah.
I'm
You're
looking
looking. You're
up.
looking straight on.
Okay, good. How
Are
about
you able? Are you able to move your mic away from your face a little bit? Like, does it?
like down? Can you hear me okay still?
Yeah, that's fine. Does it move out as well, or just up and down? Oh,
I can adjust it.
okay. Because yeah, it was good in where it was before. It was just really, really loud. So I figured
Okay.
instead of
How's
moving
that?
it down,
How's that? Is it
yeah,
better?
that's awesome. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want it to be overwhelming.
Well,
Uh,
it can always be fixed in editing.
yeah,
No
but but
problem.
but there's no point in doing that if it's easy for me to do it just right now.
Yeah, that's the
So
problem I have with my mic. I gotta find a spot, and I think I'm at the right spot. I always test it before I record to see how it sounds, but I tend to move around while I'm chatting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, if it goes, ooh, that's the right spot.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've never heard that noise before. So uh,
If you do it to yourself while you're recording, I'll be a little worried about you. So
you don't do that? Like when you send videos to people, you don't moan?
it depends on what kind of video.
Well, I mean, the only kind of videos you're going to be sending to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I sent a video like that once to a girl. I'll never do that again.
Really?
Maybe. I just don't feel like putting that out there. Too
I mean,
many, too many freaky people. I mean, who knows? Hopefully that video just got deleted, destroyed, something happened to it, and whatever. Uh, I just feel too nervous with people these days to think about, oh, there's a video of me doing bad things to myself out there.
do you have your face in it as well, or just like the unit and the yeah.
Basically the unit, yeah. But I'm
And
sure my face was in it at some point, though. I mean, it wasn't like at the same time.
I mean, you may be, the pimp of Kansas City, but I don't think everybody knows what your dog looks like. I
Not
mean,
much, not much to write home about.
so you should be that worried. I was talking to a girl the other night.